All right, let's go on
This
and jump into the Netflix sensation. It is sweeping the globe in Netflix. It is Squid Game on
I
Netflix. Go
want
ahead, Jason.
I want to say that I am an influencer. I told everybody about this show on this show, and then it
You
blew up
did.
because of me. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. All right, go
You
on.
you are. You are. Talk your ish. Talk your ish. So, but going with that, let's Jason, go ahead and start us off, man. What do you think of Squid Game, man?
So let's a quick recap of what the Squid Game is about. It is a Korean show
well, actually,
where contestants go into a to play games, uh, kids games, where way upon they if they lose they are killed. But if they win, then the people who die get money to a bot. And
but
so
Jason, why would they risk their lives in these child games? Is
because
there
they're all
something about them?
depressed and down on their luck, which is what I like about this show is that in other battle royale s genres, people are kind of against their will. They kind of don't know what's going on or whatever. But either way, you're like rooting for like the psychopath who's like, I don't know why we're killing each other. Let's stop or whatever. In
Mhm.
this show, people know after a while that why they are there. Well, that they choose to be there.
Mhm.
They choose to be there in order to get this money, and you know, and it's great. That shit. This is very compelling stuff. You know, we have our main character. I'm going to not even
Four,
try on
four,
this
five,
name.
six. 456.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6.
Well, I would like to call him the deadbeat, a guy who is
Yes. Yes.
recently divorced, or not recently divorced. He's divorced. He's lost custody of child. He lives with his mother, who is the one taking care of him. He's a grown ass man, and and can relate to this character a lot. And he's a good guy who just is an idiot and is down on his luck and gambles. He's a gambler. He's got an addiction, and because of that, and because of wanting to uh, gain custody of his daughter, decides to, after getting slapped a lot, decides to participate in this game in which he can win a whole bunch of money if he survives to take care of his daughter. And a lot of
Mhm.
these characters in this, from his childhood friend, which I will call the accountant, who is even worse in his bad luck
Lehman Brothers.
because he has embezzled not only his company's funds but also took, the deeds to his mother's shop and home and used that to even embezzle more money. So
Mhm.
he must play this game in order to win the money, so that his mom doesn't lose her shop, but also that he doesn't go to prison. You have the thief, who is a North Korean defector, who is trying to win the money so that she can bring her mother from North Korea, but also get her son out of a child's home. You have the thug, who is a thug. He's a gangster. He owns these Filipino mobsters' money, so he's trying to play so he can get this money to pay back the mobsters. And then you have Baby, who is the only character I can pronounce is Ali because I have a brother's name that's Ali,
My boy from
who
Pakistan.
is by far the best person of all time.
The
Just want to
affable,
give him a
most
fucking
likable.
hug.
Best boy.
a Pakistani immigrant to Korea who has not been paid by his employer, who needs his money for his wife and his small child, a baby,
and is
and
secretly
he is missing fingers because of
a
a
work-related
work-related accident. And then finally, you have the old man Ilnam, who is dying of terminal cancer and who is in this game as well.
He's got brain
Having
tumor.
the time of his life.
Yeah.
Every one of these characters, even though some of the characters you don't really get backstories for, are great and believable. They really sell like the horror that they're seeing, and like
Mhm.
there's a lot of sweaty motherfuckers in this shit, and I would be sweating too. The games are ranging from, okay, maybe I could do that to survive afterwards, to like there's no way fucking hell that I would ever consider doing that shit. Like
Right.
the anything with the heights, like the tug of war and the stepping stone game, I'm like, yo, we need to take this boat right now, and so we can get out of here. This is not worth it. I probably would have been like the 7% that didn't come back anyway, because I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not gonna to do all this. But yeah, like this shit hits in here. Like me and Jeremy were talking about this. There's an episode. I ugly cried.
Me too.
And if anybody has watched it, you will know which episode we're talking about. But it definitely plays on your.
We're gonna say the marbles episode.
The marbles.
Yeah, the marbles episode. It is the saddest thing I've ever seen, and I loved it. And without going into spoiler territory, you find out that there's a little bit more going on behind the scenes than you first. I mean, it's easily guessable, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of like, I guess in my mind, I was like, oh, in this game, I guess there'd be more than one winner. And maybe all our favorites could win.
We'll see. I'm not there yet. They all just had a big steak dinner and got knives. That's where I had to stop.
There's only going to be one winner, Jaron, and it's going to be us, the audience, because we're going on a great time. Yeah, I love this show. This show was so much fun.
I want to piggyback on Jason. This particular genre is something that I enjoy. I mean, it started with Battle Royale back in the day. You've got the vanilla version in Hunger Games, but more recently, you've had
hold on, real quick. Vanilla because they're white, or vanilla because it's boring?
Yes. More recently, you've had
good answer.
What I thought was a great addition to the genre, which was Alice in Borderland. I really enjoyed that series a lot. That series was more about the mystery. And while there were a lot of characters that were affable and likable, and it was one of those things where they might not be alive next episode, this particular show in the Squid Games, they do a lot more to really kind of round out the drama behind the characters. They do it well. It doesn't overstay its welcome. They kind of get to the point of the backstory of these characters, and they do a very unique thing where generally in this genre of show, once they're quote unquote trapped or in the game, they're stuck.
Yeah.
And this show did a very unique thing where in the second episode,
let everybody go home.
Fuck out, and they just left. Yeah, I'm like, it was honestly, it was wild. I was watching it go, no way, how is this going to continue? And I mean, it was,
and they're like, yo, if y'all want to come back, call us. And
majority of you wish to come back, we will restart the games. And fucking motherfuckers came back. I was like, okay, all right. No, it was really good. The characters are great. The side story with the cop is it's tense. Like the whole time he's doing his thing, they don't really play up to it a lot. We watch like horror movies where they do a lot better job with tension. But the fact that he slides into a role undercover where it is a very structured scenario, the whole time I'm sweating on his behalf going, you don't know where to go. What if you turn left and everybody else in the room turns right? You're fucked. Everybody's gonna know you're a fake. You know what I'm saying? He puts himself into such a structured environment and doesn't know dick about how he's doing it. And
the one part where the one square guy is like, "What are you even doing here? You're not supposed to be here."
He got called out.
But that square guy ends up getting killed.
He ganks his shit. He's like, upgrade.
Now I'm a square guy.
Yep.
right. Don't ask me shit.
Yep. Apparently they scan these masks. That's all they scan. So yeah, no, genuinely enjoying it so far. I'm at the last end of the episode 8, and there are 9 episodes total. So I am on point to finish the series tonight. Work has been, I've been scrambling to catch up that I can get all my watching done for these episodes. And I know it's like the second week in a row that I've been like 1 episode behind of what we're talking about.
Jared.
Fired. You have to get another.
Luckily, we got to keep you around for diversity.
I know, bro. But as soon as we get an application,
yep.
As soon as we get an application,
gone.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to, because I think we're all kind of saying the same stuff and to a huge degree. So I guess I will say this: that really good writing choice, like you talked about, the leaving and coming back, because most of these tropish type of scenarios, the establishment of like the brutality is just that, oh, this is the world. That's the reason. Like,
yeah,
if any of us in reality were thrust into this situation, we would freak the hell out. But in most of these kind of troping kind of movies, they freak a little bit, but then they get normalized it real quick and be like, oh, this is just what it is. I love that this one, it was like, I love that this one, it was like, oh, hell no. Get me up out of here. Because and then it was like, hey, you know what? I may be really, really good at kids' games. Maybe I should get at another try. Like, so when they go back in, the brutality and the death, even for us as a viewer, is normalized because we're like, well, they're choosing this.
At this point,
so it's no more a feeling of regret, sorrow, or upset, being upset. You just go, well, they're choosing this. Which is the counter thing to Ali. Ali is, yes, he is choosing this, but also he's so trusting. He's so doe-eyed. He's so like, hey, I want to do this all with all of you all because it's enough money for all of us, and I can take it. And so you feel that, and you believe that, and and so he's the counter argument to all I'm saying is because when it happens to him, you genuinely feel like, wow, a really good human being that literally was landing all on the line because he's an immigrant into North Korea to begin with. So he laid it on his line. South Korea, excuse me. Yeah. He laid it on the line to get there. Yeah. He laid it on the line to get there. We possibly allude to that he was illegal being there.
Yeah.
And like again, it's just so many layers to him to be like he's risking everything for his family continuously and for him to end up like he did. So he's the only one that you honestly feel really, really bad about. But I will say this, like I was telling when I was watching it, and I turned to my wife and I go, it's really fascinating how they're writing this because I care so much about these games. I don't really care about the rest of the stuff. Like I care about these people and if they can pass these games. That is it. Right. And so the other stuff, it was cool. But I kind of didn't need it. They could have left all of that and made this 5 episodes, and I'd have been like, "Oh, this is great!" Like just about this, I don't need it. I guess I was so intrigued by the personal struggles of the individuals and the games that I didn't care who was running it. Like I didn't really start caring about that until like the cop thing started getting a little deeper. But before that, I never even questioned like who would do this or how would it. I didn't care. I was like, "This is fucking crazy!" Like, what's the next game?
The scenario itself, it was just so compelling that you don't need anything.
Right. And the beauty of some things I always say, we talk about it sometimes on the show, like the beauty of a countdown. When a countdown's done right, it adds so much to it. Like there's 6 games. They let you know that from the beginning. So as each game goes down, like you're getting closer and closer to the end of this.
Right.
The timers in all of the events. When it's going down. They tell you it's a timer, how's it going down, even from picking your partners to picking your number. Like they use the ability of counting down to add so much tension so beautifully. Now I know how we joke about anime on here. I love the anime tropish moments where like he's in his head thinking about decisions, and then somebody's like, "Hey, can I have that instead of you?" You're like, "Yes," because that's what should happen in every anime. The other person should be like, "Why are you thinking so hard?"
Let's go ahead and move it.
Yeah. Right.
That poor fucking dude is like, "Oh, hey, can I have the one instead of the last one? Because I never actually picked anything. Yeah. I just want to just feel like I'm in control of my destiny."
I've never been a leader in my life.
Yeah. And then, but even after they do that, and it was like, okay, you give us this great speech, which you can take it how you want to, but the beauty of it, of just as Jaron talks about directors and choices, to show him look down the aisle to our main character being number 16, and then to look back up to the guy who took number 1 was just movie magic. Because every single person in the history of man, when they realized what this event was, would have looked and thought to themselves, crap, I could have been you. I could have been you, and I chose this for myself. And the guy who number 16, our main character, is kind of like, this sucks for you because that could have been me, but
you knows it.
Right. I was being a nice guy.
Right. This might not resonate with everybody, but I know there's at least a couple people in our audience that have probably had to spend the night in jail. And that entire time you're there, you're thinking, if I had only just did this, I wouldn't be here right now.
If I only took that guy, right.
I felt that from that. If I had only just chosen the only other number, I would not be where I am right now. And I mean, I felt that.
Even just the glass episode with the guy that he was like, why come you didn't tell people before? And he was like, them jokers were trying to kill us. Why would I tell them? And I'm like, yes, he's right. He's 100% right.
Yeah.
Like, it just made, a lot of people made a lot of sound choices that I agreed with. And then beyond that, because it doesn't matter what I agree with, even if it was something I did not agree with, they had developed the characters enough to be like, oh, I can
That's
see
why
that.
they make that choice. I can see why they
right. And that is really it's just an excellent
In
job.
fact,
Like I see why this is so popular. I get it. I get it.
most of these choices, a lot of, especially like, I guess, quote unquote horror movies, people make stupid choices, but in this one, it's like, of course you're going to make a choice that's selfish because your life is on the line here.
Yeah,
Right,
100%.
So,
right.
like, yeah, you want to be like, oh, in this situation, I want to try to, like, help out everybody, but like when it comes down to your life versus another person's life, you're going to try to preserve your life. Everybody's going to try to, unless you're fucking,
Ali.
a saint. Unless
Ali.
you're fucking Ali. And even then, Ali was like still trying to, like, he helped pull those other motherfuckers down,
Yeah,
Straight
yeah.
up grabbed our boy 456 and held him.
Yeah. Like if it was, but if it's my life versus the life of these other people, he pulled the rope, right? He did not be like, hey, let's pull, he still pulled the rope.
Oh yeah.
Which goes to ask the question I want to ask two of you guys.
Ooh.
I know we've all probably been in moments where we've been desperate in our lives where, another dollar could have saved you a whole lot of heartache. Would you do it? Would you go on the show?
Hell no. Hell no. I believe enough in myself and my ability to make money or to figure things out that no. Like I would have been like in that first, that 7% that didn't come back, that is me all the way. I'd have been interested, but like, oh, if I survive that red light, green light, man, you will first thing smoking. Yeah, no. That's insane.
Jared, on the other hand.
I don't know. I'm not going to say no definitively. I'm not going to say yes definitively. If I was ever met with something where they were talking about $400 million and I got to play 6 games and I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I'd have to, man, I cannot sit here with 100% surety and say absolutely not in front of you because I'd be lying, but I definitely can't say 100% yes because I just don't fucking know, man. I don't know. That's one of those things that you find out what you're made of.
We're the main story in our we're the main character in our own story, but sometimes you find out that you're not.
Yeah, right.
As soon as that shit cracks, you're like, oh, I guess I'm not the main character in this bitch.
Exits this way. All right.
What is that? I guess the money would have roughly been was about almost $40 million in American
38
money.
I think it was like $38.5 million.
Yeah.
Apparently in the last week. Yeah, apparently the last week, one of the most Googled things has been the money
won conversion
between won to dollars.
Yeah,
because people are like, I know that's for real.
As soon as he was like, oh, I need 10,000 won, I was like, how much is that? So I went Google 10,000 won.
Won to dollar. Yeah, that translates.
Yeah, I literally put how much, and literally Google was like, is 400 or something won. I'm like, damn. How many people are watching this?
There's been 1 or 2 people that have asked about that.
Everybody been asking about that. We live in Georgia where there's a shit ton of Korean people, which we probably could have asked.
We got a great K-Town here.
Yeah, I could text at least.
We got a 24-hour Korean restaurant on Pleasant Hill, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Which one?
I've got it. It's a Korean name, but I can text it to you. My boy went there the other night. And
it's a Korean barbecue, ain't it?
No, it's Well, I mean, it's a full Korean restaurant. He was like there at 3 a.m. on a Thursday or Friday. I was like, where the fuck is this? And he sent me the contact info for it.
Yeah, it's right over there beside the McDonald's and all that, if I'm correct. So I have people that have gone there before, I believe. Like
it's a bit further down, not the one right off the highway, but
I know Sweet Hut's 24 hours.
Yeah. Is Sweet Hut 24?
Right.
Sweet Hut is 24 hours. That's about the only thing I knew.
This conversations devolved into everything else differently. All right, let's go ahead. Squid Game.
If you guys want to go get Korean barbecue, that'd be great too.
I would love that. I would love that. Squid Game. What is rating, Jasen?
4.5. 4.5.
Okay.
Very
Darren, from what you have seen, what is your rating?
4.5. I can't give it a 5 because it's not perfect, but fuck if it's not great. So 4.5.
Here comes
I think
2.1.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna give it a 4.3. There you go, guys.
It just means I can't copy paste all of them over later.
Right. Plus, I hated that the fraudulent chick. Even though her way she took old boy out was awesome. but
Oh,
she
so
was
good.
annoying as hell to me.
She was
What a
annoying.
It was so
What-
annoying.
Oh, she was annoying, but what a great fucking ending to that.
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
yo,
those two stories.
Look, if we're gonna make an alliance, you can't betray me, man. That's the one thing.
From the rip, she was like,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
And he was like, yeah, it's me and you, baby, till the end of the day.
And
And
immediately,
as soon as he made that fucking promise, like he pushed that bitch to the side.
so fast. Absolutely.
Didn't even
By the way,
think about it.
Right. Oh,
She's
that's
like,
so
we
because
going
Karen
together.
hasn't seen the ending yet, but
just
when
trying to get that pussy.
when the ending
Whatever.
happens, it's gonna make you say that second guess, but make you think even more about the tug of war episode when you see the whole ending. So
Okay.
just a little thing there.
There's
that
also
you'll
so
get
a
to.
couple things that stand out about it. They mentioned when the wealthy guys come in, they go, the Korean version of this is the most popular this year.
So
we know
there's
it
more
happens
games.
multiple years, and we know it happens in multiple places. So subsequent seasons can completely recast and just
You can do
it all over again.
Netflix can do an all-American version. They
Yeah.
can do an all-Canadian
they
version.
go everywhere with it. It'd be awesome. And
Yeah.
still call it Squid Games. It'd be great.
Would it be
I feel
Hop,
like
Shop
if they
Games
did
in
an
America?
all-African version of it, it would be not as fun because a lot of Africans are like, yeah, we'll do whatever. I don't give a shit. Oh, we gotta kill some of these people. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Like we're fine.
He's like,
They're
yeah,
and
that whole big ass continent. Yeah, they do whatever the fuck. They don't give a fuck. That continent.
The whole continent's a fucking monolith. Every last one of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, of Africans.
You ever hear-
Yeah, that continent. Yeah, don't put it there.
But
Oh
here's
my
the
god.
deal, though. It's probably not enough billionaires would be like, hey, let's go to Africa. Unless they're like Oprah Winfrey, I guess.
well, no, it'll be an
Yeah, I
island
guess.
off of Africa.
Madagascar?
Well, yeah, but this island is off of Korea. I mean, they go
Also
somewhere.
Madagascar.
They go somewhere.
Also
super remote.
Madagascar.
Also,